Krispy Kreme has been satisfying your sweet tooth cravings for more than 80 years and never fails to hit the spot. Whether it's an extra tasty breakfast or a late-night treat, is there really ever a bad time for one of those glazed pieces of heaven? The donut recipe may be top secret, but here are a bunch of fun facts you may not know about Krispy Kreme. Secret potatoes. Krispy Kreme has kept their iconic original glazed donut recipe a secret for more than 80 years, but the company's website has given a few clues as to what those secret ingredients may be. Krispy Kreme's founder, Vernon Rudolph, bought the recipe from a French chef in New Orleans in 1937, then took it to North Carolina, where he opened the first store. Decades later, Rudolph's son attempted to track down the original recipe, and according to Duke University's The Chronicle, he ultimately discovered it consisted of a cream of fluffed egg whites, mashed potatoes, sugar, shortening, and skim milk that was chilled and mixed with flour and then fried and covered in glaze. Since Rudolph would have been making hundreds of donuts from a recipe meant to make just a few dozen, his son guessed that this would have been only a starting point. The proportions would need to be altered. The world may never know, but if Krispy Kreme donuts are full of mashed potatoes, that might explain why they're so darn good. Driving with glaze. When you hear DUI, you probably think drugs or alcohol are the culprit. But what about Krispy Kreme donuts? In 2015, a man named Daniel Rushing was pulled over for what he thought would be a routine traffic stop. According to NPR, things took a turn for the worse when the officer asked him about some white crystals that had been found on the floorboards, which had field tested positive for methamphetamine. Rushing explained it was the glaze from a Krispy Kreme donut, but the officers didn't believe him.
You are under arrest.
And he was taken to jail. This is when Rushing realized he had a good lawsuit on his hands. Eventually, the charges were dropped, and the offending Krispy Kreme dust earned Rushing a $37,500 settlement. Krispy Kreme, the rapper. Heads up to any amateur rappers, if you've decided to name yourself Krispy Kreme and one of your videos is so utterly ridiculous that it goes viral, you'll need to start worrying about trademark infringement. In 2012, Tyler Cassidy, aka Krispy Kreme, found himself in hot water when media coverage of his video The Baddest alerted the real Krispy Kreme to the use of their name. The donut company contacted Cassidy's father and told them to find Krispy Kreme a new name, Stat.
I have to make an announcement video because I have to change my rap name.
Cassidy ultimately decided on the name Froggy Fresh. Started with the smell. When Vernon Rudolph started making donuts in 1937, they were only sold to grocery stores for resale. There was no proper storefront. But according to the Krispy Kreme website, passers-by were so tantalized by the aroma of the fried donuts that they would stop at the facility to buy them right there. In a genius business move, Rudolph decided to cut a hole in the outside wall of the building and began selling hot donuts directly to customers on the street, thus creating the first Krispy Kreme retail location. Name change? Apparently, the name Krispy Kreme is a pronunciation conundrum for UK customers. Some think it's Krispy Kreme. And in 2017, the company announced they would be making a change to their name.
Kreme. We're divided, people. And as CDO of Krispy Kreme, I cannot allow it.
They would instead be known as Krispy Kreme.
So, my British peeps, go for it! Say it loud, say it proud, but most of all, say it right!
But wait, this announcement came on March 30th, just a few days before April 1st. Ultimately, the company announced that it was, in fact, a prank. A spokesperson told Mirror Online, the idea behind the story was to draw attention to the confusion around pronunciation and spelling of the brand in a humorous, irreverent way. Wasted donuts. If it saddens you to think of even a single Krispy Kreme going to waste, prepare to be heartbroken. In 2016, a customer at a UK location was shocked to see about 50 bags of donuts piled behind the shop, all destined for the trash. He told BBC News, "I've done some quick maths and I reckon there were about 15,000 donuts being wasted there." So why don't they donate the day-old donuts? In a general statement on their website addressing waste, the company said, Krispy Kreme donuts are an occasional indulgent treat and, as such, do not have the nutritional values adequate to be a meal replacement. Therefore, we have concerns about giving donuts to people in need of proper nourishment. Makes you think twice about your several donut-a-day habit, doesn't it? Thanks for watching. Click the mashed icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.